Hey guys, new intro for this week. I know you guys are so excited to get into the video, but I have to stop you really quick. We are at 1 year here on YouTube, so thank you guys very much for getting us to 1 year on YouTube. We're looking forward to many years in the future. We are going to do a 1 week full of giveaways. We have two $50 giveaways. We have a mini helmet signed by Chris Johnson. We have a World Series replica ring, and we have a bobblehead giveaway that we're going to do. So 5 days of giving. And we're going to give all of those away on our Friday live show. So to get into those live drawings, you have to comment down below Bear Pack on any of our videos Monday through Friday, and we will get you in that wheel. We're going to spin the wheel 5 times. We're going to give away all 5 gifts. So thank you guys for all the support that you've given us over the year. So thank you guys so much. We're looking forward to the future. Let's get into the video. All right, guys, let's get into some NCAA football picks and props for Thursday, October 19th slate of games. Take a look at that leaderboard. Trey, starts off.
Yeah, at the moment, I am 0 for 0. We are recording before or while the college football games are going on right now. But I did give out New Mexico State -2.5 versus UTEP, and that game has not started yet. But I think that UTEP should be able to go on the road and win by a field goal.
Seth?
Yeah, and I also have New Mexico State -2.5 here. I think Diego Pavia and that New Mexico State University Aggies offense is way too high-powered for UTEP to stop. So I'm just going to trust Diego Pavia and that offense to win that game for him.
Yeah, and we swept New Mexico State -2.5. I also added them -6.5 on the alt spread. I'm not too worried about this game. They should handle business. But let's take a look at tomorrow's game. Big game here. It's going to be JMU going against Marshall. Should be a really good game. JMU is the favorite on the road, -3.5. The over-under is 49.5 points. Trey, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I'm really excited and nervous for this game. If you guys have watched Bears Private Plays for a while, you know I always say my James Madison team because I rode them, I think, the first 2 or 3 weeks in this college football season, and they were cash monsters for us. And it is criminal that they are not ranked yet. But I did look at the AP poll, and they received the most votes of the non-ranked team. So I guess that puts them as the 26th ranked team for what that's worth. But if they get a win here, I think they're going to be ranked next week, and I expect that to happen. But I would take them on the money line, but that's just way too juiced at -175. And -3.5, that just has me worried about it being a close game. So I'm just going to take James Madison here to score over the 26.5 team total in this game. They've been scoring that many amount of points on a regular clip this season. In fact, they're averaging 34.5 points per game this season, which is a touchdown over this number. And Marshall's defense isn't nothing to write home about. They come in this game averaging over this number too because they allow 28.5 points per game. And James Madison, they're led by their pass offense and Jordan McLeod. But primarily, the reason why I love this over is James Madison's defense. I think that they're going to be able to put their offense on a ton of short fields in this game. And I think James Madison's going to punch in a couple touchdowns that way. So give me James Madison here to score over 26.5 team total in this game versus Marshall.
I like it, Trey. Seth?
Yeah, and I'm not worried about taking James Madison at -3.5. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I actually think this should be a pretty fun matchup to watch. James Madison is off to a great start this year, as Trey said, but Marshall was kind of surprised too, as they started 4-0 and had a great start, but they've lost their last 2 games since then. The biggest issue for this Marshall team, as Trey mentioned, is their defense. Last week against Georgia State, they allowed 41 points and really struggled in the fourth quarter of that game. Both of these teams have strong offenses, so it's going to come down to the defensive side of the ball, and I just don't think this Marshall defense can keep this James Madison offense down that is averaging 34.5 points per game. James Madison has also won its last 8 games against non-ranked teams. This James Madison team is tough against the run, and that is arguably the biggest strength of the Marshall offense, as Rasheem Ali has been spectacular for them. But in this game, I don't see him having many openings against a stout James Madison run defense. They're going to take this Marshall offense out of what they like to do and make them use their lesser strength in this game, and that is the passing game. I like James Madison here in this game to cover the spread at -3.5 on the road, as I just do think they are just the better team and have the better defense here.
Yeah, guys, this really isn't a great spot for JMU, but I'm still going to take them. -2.5. I'm going to buy the full point. They're coming into this game having to travel, laying the points on short rest, so usually not a good spot to back a team. The way Marshall has been playing lately has been horrid, so I'm going to take JMU here to cover the small spread. This is a very good JMU team, having not lost on the season. I expect them to win this game on the ground. That has not been their game this season, as McLeod, their quarterback, has been a stud, throwing for 1,500 yards in the season nearly. In this game, I think JMU is going to run the ball a ton. That's because Marshall, over the last several games, have been gashed severely on the ground. They rank 115th in the nation now They rank 115 in the nation now in rushing defense, giving up 191.8 yards per game. They have also been allowing teams to score a ton of points. So I'm going to add on the over in this game as well. Give me the small favorite on the road to cover the spread and give me the over 49.5 points scored in this game. So 2 plays for me tomorrow. Let's go over the player props. Trey, start us off.
Yeah, and I am 0 for 0 at the moment, but I did give out Cade McConnell over 175.5 passing yards versus New Mexico State. Like I said earlier, game has not started, but I do expect UTEP to be down pretty big in this game, so I do expect Cade McConnell to be passing a ton.
Seth?
Yeah, and I took Diego Pavia to go over 226.5 pass yards. And when we filmed yesterday, Bear said something about Pavia anytime touchdown because of his dual threat ability. I agreed with him there. So we're just waiting for that game to start.
Yeah, and then I have Noah Smith over 73.5 receiving yards going up against FIU. Only one possession so far. He did get 13 yards on the first drive, but they're on their second possession now. So hopefully he does cash that going up against FIU. And then I also, Seth just said, I talked about Pavia. I gave out Pavia to score a rushing touchdown as well. So I'm going to count that one on the board. But guys, let's take a look at our player props for tomorrow. Trey, start us off.
Yeah, and I'm going to start us off here. I'm going to go over to the passing yards, and I'm going to go with Cam Fancher here. Over 228.5 passing yards versus James Madison. I just said that I think that James Madison is going to be able to put up a ton of points in this game, and that means that Marshall is going to have to match them here. And I don't think that they're going to be able to do that on the ground, even though they have Rashid Ali. I mean, this James Madison rush defense is just elite. In fact, they give up the fewest rushing yards per game this season. That's because they allow a whopping 39 rushing yards per game. So Marshall, they're going to have to do their best to just attack through the air in this game. And Fancher, he's been able to pass for a ton of yards, honestly, over his last 3 games. As you guys can see, over those last 3 games, it's averaging 298 passing yards per game, which is way over this number. And he's getting a juicy matchup here versus James Madison too. And that's because, yes, James Madison is great at stopping the run, but they cannot stop the pass, though. They give up the fewest rushing yards, but they give up the most passing yards per game in all of college football. It's kind of crazy, that split there, but it is true. That's because James Madison, they allowed 343 passing yards per game, which is way over this number as well. Fancher should be able to do some damage in this game, so I'm taking him to go over 228.5 passing yards versus James Madison.
Seth?
Yeah, and I'm going to take James Madison receiver Elijah Surratt to go over 57.5 receiving yards in this game. Is it up to 58? Okay. I'm going to take Surratt to go over 58.5 receiving yards in this game. Surratt is a big-bodied receiver at 6'2", 207 who can go up and get passes for this James Madison team. Surratt has been the primary target all year for James Madison, has been very consistent for them, and is also coming off his best game of the season where he caught 5 passes for 105 yards. Surratt has hit this over in 50% of his games this year, but will be getting a matchup against a Marshall team that allowed 41 points last week to Georgia State. He's been a big play receiver for James Madison over the past 2 seasons, as he averaged 16.7 yards per catch last season and is already averaging 16 yards per catch this season. I think Surratt is in for another big game as he got things rolling last week. He has a very favorable matchup in this game as well, and his big playability should be on display in this one. I really like his over 58.5 receiving yards here against Marshall.
Yeah, Seth, and for my player prop today, I'm going to take Kaelon Black to go over 83.5 rushing yards against Marshall. I'm going to say this is kind of a risky play because JMU this season has been dominating at throwing the ball. And I know people don't like when we say risky play, but it really is because we don't know if JMU will match what Marshall's going to be doing in this game. Marshall's going to leave open gaps up front for Black to run through. If JMU hands the ball off 15 to 20 times in this game, he's definitely going to get this number. However, because JMU has been throwing the ball all season long, I don't know if that's what's going to happen in this game. So it does make it a risky play. If he does get enough touches, he's going to easily do it. Like I said, Marshall over the last 3 games has given up 715 yards on the ground. I'm going to take the risk and take Black to go over 83.5 rushing yards as my play. Boys, let's take a look at that graphic. Seth, start us off.
Yeah, I have James Madison minus 3.5 on the road. And then I also took James Madison receiver Elijah Surratt to go over 58.5 receiving yards against Marshall.
Trey?
Yeah, and I gave out James Madison over 27.5 team total versus Marshall. They've been averaging over that all season long, and Marshall's defense is nothing special. I also gave out Cam Fancher over 228.5 passing yards now versus James Madison. It's gone up 7 yards since an hour and a half-ish ago since I was doing my notes. So that's pretty crazy.
Could go up even more. So get it in when you guys see this. My plays are Black to go over 83.5 rushing yards And then I have JMU on the road to win again, -2.5. But guys, that's going to do it for NCAA football plays for Thursday, October 19th, slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please be sure to drop a like in this video and subscribe to the channel below. We'll see you guys next video, and thanks for watching. Questions this morning about how to become a member for the YouTube channel. Let's do that really quick tutorial. You're going to go to youtube.com. You're going to go to Bears Profit Plays. You're going to search it in. You're going to hit our thing. There's a join button right just to the right of subscribe. You're going to click that. There's two options. You have the Bear Pack for $4.99. That gives you access to YouTube member plays. And then you have the Bear Pack Gold for $7.99 a month. That gives you access to our member plays on YouTube, and it gives you a 1-month membership to our website, bearsprofitplays.com. So if you get the Bear Pack Gold, you save yourself $2 a month, a little bit cheaper if you want to do that. But that is the tutorial for anybody that needed it. We had multiple questions today through email about how to do it, and it wasn't working. But if you want to know, there it is right there, Trey. Just want to let everyone know that while we do give out free picks, plays, and predictions on our YouTube channel, we also have a website for you to check out. On our website, bearsprofitplays.com, you can subscribe to the website absolutely free with an email and gain access to our written articles about upcoming sporting events. If you're really looking to make some cash, we have an option to become a member of our website. If you become a member, you will gain access to our Locks of the Week, which are written articles that go in depth as to why we are picking that particular outcome. As of now, our member plays have been red hot, hitting over 60% of our plays. If you don't want to become a member, it's no sweat. We are here to try and make you guys some money. That's our main goal. So come on over to bearsprofitplays.com and subscribe for free. Check us out, follow our free picks, and see for yourself that our member plays are a great investment for you. Thanks for watching.